Okay, CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. Cascading Style Sheets. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. And style sheet is a language used for describing look and feel of the web document. CSS is a style sheet language, and it is used for describing look and feel of the web document. Web document means HTML form. Okay, so that is HTML form. CSS is a style that defines layout of the HTML document. CSS is a style that defines layout of HTML document. Okay, so it is a way of express the look of the web document. Okay, CSS is a way of express the look of the application. And so we can use CSS in three ways. Okay, for suppose we want to implement one application. Okay, so we can use CSS in three ways. We can use CSS in three ways. Okay, so first one, external style sheets. External style sheet. And second one, internal style sheets. Internal style sheet. And third one, inline styles. Okay, inline styles. Okay, so these are the three ways to insert CSS styles in HTML document. Okay, CSS syntax. Syntax of the CSS. CSS declaration. We have to use style tag, starting tag, and ending tag. Okay, so this is the style sheet tag. Okay, so in this attribute, okay, in this element, in this tag, we have to write CSS styles for the application. CSS declaration ends with a semicolon. CSS declaration ends with a semicolon. Okay, semicolon. And the declaration groups are surrounded by curly braces. And declaration of groups are surrounded by curly braces. Okay, curly braces. So for suppose you want to apply, okay, some CSS styles for the paragraph or development. Okay, so we can use here in CSS we have selectors. Okay, ID selector and class selector and element selector. Okay, anyone we can use to apply CSS styles to the HTML element. So for example, I'm using ID Okay, this is the div id. Okay, assume that. So by using this id, okay, by using this id we are finding the HTML element in the body. Okay, so this is the id selector. Okay, for id selector we have to use hash symbol. uh, Background color, okay, background color and text color. Okay, so like this we can write some css styles for the HTML elements. Okay, css declaration ends with a semicolon. Okay, css declaration ends with a semicolon, and declaration of groups are surrounded by curly braces. So this is the declaration group of declaration. Okay, so these are surrounded by curly braces. Okay, so between these two braces we can write number of css properties. Okay, so first of all, external style sheets. External style sheet. So an external style sheet is ideal when the style is applied to many pages. External style sheet is ideal when the style is applied to many pages. And suppose if you want to change page background of, or mm, to change font style, okay, just modify .css file. Okay, external style means nothing but external style sheet, nothing but .css files. Okay, .css files. So if you want to change page background or any font style or any padding or any css, okay, so just modify in .css file, so it is reflect to the entire application. Okay, just modify in .css file. Okay, .css file, so that it will reflect, reflect to the entire application. Okay, entire application. So just modify in css, it will reflect to the entire application. So with an external style sheet you can change the look and feel of the entire application. Okay, so using external style sheets, style sheet, you can change look of the entire application. Okay, so for the syntax for external style sheets, syntax, as we know we can use style tag. Okay, so within style tag, okay, so no need style tag, okay, to call the external style sheets. In header section only, in header section of the HTML form. Okay, in header section use link tag and href .css file path. Okay, file path. Next so type attribute. Okay, in HTML5 no need this. Okay, type text CSS. Okay, and rel attribute. Okay, that is relational attribute. Okay, so this is important to call the .css files. So this is the syntax to call the external style sheets in HTML form. Okay, so one example. So today I'm using Visual Studio Editor to explain the examples. Okay, so you can use any editor. Okay, CSS. Okay, in this, so this is our project folder. Okay, assume that CSS. Okay, open that folder in Visual Studio, and there is a document, and add one HTML document. External example. Okay, external example dot HTML. Okay, so HTML form is created, and for example, div tag. Okay, I want to display some box. Okay, some box with this content. Okay, copy this content and paste here. Okay, I want to display div tag in the browser. Okay, and I want to apply some CSS properties for the div. Okay, so add one style sheet. Okay, my styles.css. Okay, if you use Notepad, okay, if you are using Notepad, write our CSS properties like not div1. Okay, and the background color and the text color. Okay, so after you write some CSS properties, save Notepad with the .css extension. Okay, styles.css. Okay, save the file with the .css extension, so that the file type is cascading style sheet document. Okay, HTML files is Chrome HTML document, and CSS files cascading style sheet document. So it will show like this. Okay, so here I created .css file, mystyles.css. Okay, so I want to apply CSS properties like background color and border and text color for div tag. Okay, here I'm using element selector. Element selector nothing but select the element. Okay, select the HTML element with element name only. Background color. Okay, so in your real-time applications, compulsory you have to use color codes only. Okay, uh, not color names like this red, white, okay, yellow. So don't use color names. Compulsory use color codes. Okay, you can find color codes in Google. HTML color codes. Go to double3 schools. Okay, or htmlcolorcodes.com. Okay, so here you can find the color code. Okay, HEX. Okay, if you select the color, it will change the color code here. Okay, Okay, so copy this color code. Okay, copy this color code and paste here. Okay, compulsory use color codes only in real time. And text color white. Okay, triple F means white color. And border is 1 pixel border and solid border style. Okay, solid is border style. And border color uh, okay, copy this color. Okay, so after you write some css properties in .cs file. Okay, so use that css file in html document. In header section, okay, use link tag and href. Okay, href equal to mystyles.css. Okay, so here uh, I have created .cs file in same folder. Okay, .css folder. Okay, all files in same folder. External example and mystyles.css. Okay, if you want to use separate folders for html files and css files and javascript files, for example, add new folder. Okay, css. Okay, in real time also use separate folders for html and css and javascript files. Okay, now css files is in css folder. Okay, so now you can write css path like css slash mystyles.css. Okay, so you have to call the path like from folder name and the type. Okay, if you want this you can use, otherwise in html file no need this type attribute and relation attribute. Okay, this is compulsory style sheet. Okay, now this css styles. Okay, css styles is applied to div tag. So run this example. Okay, view in browser. Okay, so div background color and border color is there. You can change the border color. Okay, so border color, okay, 4 pixel. Okay, so like this it will apply the css styles to the html elements. Okay, so in real time you must use color codes only. So this is the external file example. Internal style sheets. Internal style sheet. So internal style sheet used when the single document has a unique styles. These styles uh, should be used when a single document when a single document has a unique styles. Okay, when a single document has a unique styles. Okay, if you want to apply uh, separate styles for the single document, okay, we can use internal styles. For internal style sheets, syntax, internal style sheets needs to put in style tag. Okay, the styles needs to put in style tag. Okay, style tag, syntax, use style tag. Okay, starting tag and end tag, and between these two tags, okay, we have to write CSS properties. Okay, like use d1. Okay, okay, so like this we have to write CSS using internal style sheets. So an example for internal style sheets. So add one HTML document, internal example. Okay, so add one text box, input type equal to text box, and a placeholder equal to, okay, first name, and ID equal to txt name. Okay, so I want to apply some CSS for this text box. Use style tag, and here I'm using ID selector. Okay, txt name is the ID of the text box. Okay, so now uh, text color, text color, uh, okay, so text color, and font size 25 pixels. Okay, font size 20 pixels. mm, okay, font size 20 pixels, and border for text box 2 pixel border, and solid and red color border. Okay, so now run this example. So here text box is in body tag, and we have written CSS styles in the header section. Okay, using style tag. Okay, so this is the selector. Okay, so this is the idea of the selector, idea of the HTML element. Okay, by using ID selector we are finding the text box in body tag and applying CSS properties. Okay, so text box font size is 25 pixel, and border red color border, and 2 pixel width. Okay, border width 2 pixels, and solid border means line border, and color, text color. Okay, so this is the text color. So these are the internal styles, and next one is inline styles. Inline styles. So inline styles nothing but if you need small piece of code, okay, if you need small piece of code for any HTML element, for single element, okay, we can use inline styles. And inline styles loses many of the advantages of style sheets. Okay, to use inline styles, you can use the style attribute in the relevant tag. Uh, to use inline styles, inline styles, to use inline styles, use style attribute, style attribute in the relevant tag. Relevant tag. Okay, so we can use number of style tags in header section or body section. Okay, so we can write CSS styles, okay, in header section or body section. Okay, any number of style tags we can insert. Okay, any number of style tags we can use in body also. Okay, if you want to insert CSS styles, use style tag. Okay, style tag and write CSS files, CSS properties. Okay, any number of style tags we can use in body or header section at the same time. Okay, next inline styles example. Add HTML form. Inline example. Okay, for same, okay, input text box. Okay, so now we want to apply some CSS properties like a font size and border color. Okay, font size and border color. Use style tag. Okay, style attribute. Font size 25 pixels and border 2 pixel border solid and the border color is red color. Okay, so this is the inline styles. Okay, if we need small piece of code for an HTML element, we can use style attribute. Okay, style attribute and write CSS properties. Okay, and it's separated by semicolon. Okay, for every property, okay, end with a semicolon in inline also. So now run this example. Okay, text box font size 25 pixel and a border. Okay, red color border and a single line. Okay, and text color is black. So these are the 3 ways to insert CSS styles in HTML form. So the next topic is CSS selectors. Okay, CSS selectors. So the CSS selectors are used to select HTML elements. Okay, select HTML elements based on the element name or uh, element ID and element class. Okay, to apply CSS properties. Okay, selectors are used to select elements based on their based on their element name and ID of the element and class of the element. Okay, so here three selectors is there. First one, ID selector. Second one, class selector. Third one, element selector. Okay, so these are the three ways to select the HTML elements. So first of all, ID selector. So that ID selectors selects elements based on the element ID. Okay, so it is a specified ID. The ID selector select elements. The ID selector select elements with a specified ID. Okay, and class selector for ID selector uses the ID attribute of HTML element. For class selectors, the selector select elements with a specific class name, with a specific class name. Okay, so use class attribute class attribute to select HTML elements. And next, element selector. So element selector selects elements based on the element name. The selector selects elements based on the element name. Okay, so these are the three ways of selecting HTML elements. So examples on these three ways: add one HTML form, ID selector. So for example, we have div tag. Okay, and div tag with the ID attribute. Okay, for ID selector, use ID attribute of the HTML element. Div 1. Okay, so div 1 is the ID of the attribute div, and this div contains some information. Okay, so this is the information, some content to display. And here just using style tag for ID selector. Okay, so, to apply any CSS styles, any CSS properties to the HTML element. Okay, so we can use ID selector, class selector, or element selector. Okay, so if you want to use ID selector, okay, to apply CSS properties, Okay, so by using id selector, master should use a symbol and div1 followed by id of the element. Okay, so for id selectors, use a symbol and followed by id of the element. And next, write css properties. Here, background color, background color is blue color. Okay, next, text color white color, and div width. Okay, div width 200 pixels, and height 200 pixels. Okay, so now run this example. Okay, so this is the div height and width 200 pixels and 200 pixels, and div background color and text color white. Okay, so text color white triple F, and background color blue color. Okay, so for example, if you need another div tag, okay, to display another content, id equal to uh, div2. Okay, and this div tag contains also same. Okay, okay, so if you want to apply same css styles for the both div elements, okay, for the both div elements you want to same css styles. Okay, no need to write uh, multiple times, so then just use div one here also. Okay, id. Okay, it will show the message like, okay, another object on the page already uses id div1. Okay, but that is um, we can use same ids, okay, to apply same css styles. So now refresh this, use here break. Okay, so both divs applied same background color and text color and height width. Okay, so if you need same css styles, we can use same id. Otherwise, if you need different css styles for both div elements, so now you can use different ids and write different css properties. Background color, and text color white, and height width 400 pixels. Okay, and height also 400 pixels. Okay, now run this example. Okay, so both elements different css properties. Okay, if you need different css styles, you can use different ids. If you need same css styles for the both div elements, okay, you can use uh, you can write separate css properties. Okay, and next, class selector. Okay, this selector selects elements with a specific class name and use class attribute to select html elements. Okay, class attribute. So add one HTML form. Okay, here we can use same div text. Okay, and next same style also. Okay, so we're discussing about class selector. Okay, not id selector. So for class selectors, use class attribute. Okay, use class attribute to find the HTML elements. Okay, for class selectors, use dot. Okay, and followed by class name dot new to. Okay, for class selectors, use dot symbol. Okay, dot and followed by class name. Okay, what you specified here, you must call that name only in class attribute. Okay, same. So these are the class selectors. For id selectors, use as symbol and followed by element id. And for class selectors, use dot and followed by class name. Okay, after you define the class name here, okay, you can call that class name in element. Okay, it will show the class names here. Okay, div1 and div2. Okay, you can select that class name and now run this example. Okay, same css. Go to inspect. Okay, so here you can see the class. Okay, so for div1, class equal to div1. So this is the css properties. Okay, so here class selector .html line number 6. Okay, in line number 6 we have this class .d1. Okay, so this is the line number 6. Okay, line number 6. And for div2, so we have div2 class in class selector.html 12th line number, line number 12. Okay, so you can write css properties in browser also, like border, 2 pixel, solid, color, which color we can use. Okay, so see here. Okay, you can write css styles in browser also. Okay, so but here this is only testing purpose only. Okay, if you need permanent changes, you can copy this one and paste that in your original document. Okay, so now close this and refresh. Okay, okay, so now this is refreshed in class selector that HTML form. Okay, so these are the two selectors, class selector and id selector. Okay, both are same, but class selector is faster than id selector. Okay, to increase the application performance, use class selector in real-time applications. Okay, so id selector also better, but use class selector only to increase the application performance. And next one is element selector. So this selector selects elements based on the element name. Element selector. Okay, so use paragraph and okay, so this is the content in paragraph. Okay, and write CSS properties, style, and use element name only. Okay, for element selector, use directly element name p and text color. Okay, text color. Okay, text color and font size 20 pixels, font size 20 pixels, and font style. Okay, italic. Okay, so now run this example. Okay, so font style and font color and font size. So go to inspect element and here font color and font size, font style, italic font style. Okay, for example, if you have number of paragraph tags in your HTML document. Okay, so this paragraph contains this one. So now refresh this. Okay, for ID selector, select elements. Okay, in HTML document. Okay, so all paragraphs in our HTML document. Okay, element selector selects all elements in our HTML documents and applies CSS properties. Okay, because here we used element selector P. Okay, so this is finding all paragraphs in the body tag. Okay, if you want to apply different styles for the different multiple paragraphs, use ID selector or class selector. Okay, if you want to same CSS styles for all paragraphs, directly we can use like this. So these are the selectors: ID selector, class selector, and element selector. So these three are very important to apply CSS properties for the HTML elements. And the next one is text transformation. Text transformation. Transformation. Okay, text transformation. So use text transform property. Text transform property. Transform property to specify uppercase and lowercase letters in text. To specify uppercase and lowercase letters in text. Okay, so for text transformations we can use text transform property. Okay, for uppercase text transform text transform uppercase, okay, to uppercase, to lowercase, use text transform lowercase, okay. So we have to use like this. And one more important one is capitalize, okay. So capitalize, text transform capitalize. So this property is used to display uh, every first word in each word first letter, okay, to display capital letters, okay, to display uppercase in every word first letter. Okay, so this capital is used to display first character in mhm. Okay, so this capital is used to each word first letter, okay, to display uppercase in each word first letter, use capitalize. And this example, add HTML document, text transform, okay, here we can use 3 paragraphs. This is my example paragraph, okay, 3 paragraphs. So here we want to apply different properties for 3 uh, div elements. Okay, use p1 equal to p2, id equal to p3. Style tag and using id selector p1 text transform property, text transform uppercase, okay, and font size 20 pixels, okay. And the second one is this is my example paragraph, okay. Total this one is in uppercase hash p2, text transform lowercase, and font size 20 pixels. And third one p3, text transform capitalize, each word first letter will display in caps, font size 20 pixel, okay. See here, first paragraph total content is in small letters, and second paragraph total content in capitalize, and third one is also small. So if you run this example, okay, it will display like this. Okay, first paragraph is in uppercase. Okay, text transform, this text is transformed to uppercase. And the second paragraph actually total content is in capitalize, okay, uppercase, but it is here displayed small. Okay, see here, small. And third paragraph, each word first letter, okay, each word first letter is displayed caps, okay, uppercase. Okay, to display each word first character, okay, first letter in uppercase, use capitalize, text transform uppercase, capitalize. So that it will transform the text to the uppercase, lowercase, and capitalize. And so we have text elements also. Text elements. Okay, text elements. We have center align, center, and left, right align, and justify. Okay, center, left, right, and justify. So these are the four elements we have. Okay, so text element is used to set the horizontal element of text. So for example, here we have 3 paragraphs. Okay, I want to display first paragraph is in right side. We use text align, right side. Okay, right. So now refresh this. Okay, so first paragraph displayed in right side, and second paragraph, so text default element is left side. Okay, so actually these 2 paragraphs is in left side. Okay, this is the default element. And if you use center align for paragraph 3, use center. Okay, now this paragraph text is in center align. And the next one is justify. Okay, P4. Font size 20 pixels, and the text align, justify. Okay, so this is justify. So justify nothing but a block of text, okay, that aligns on the right side or left side. Okay, so adjusting the word and letter spaces in each line of the text to make each line the same length. To make each line the same length. So justify.